every other major, as we all know, rotates. Different venues. This is the only major that stays put. And the course has its own personality. The back nine has its own personality. The fact that, well, they're going into the par fives, 13 through 15. John Rahm had a terrific front nine, and they're showing him tear it up. And Faldo's like, you know what? He's 6-7 shots back. He's going into the par fives. Those par fives give anybody a shot to come from way back. It's a perfectly constructed championship course because if you're way back, you can make up ground. The par threes are there to stick it to you sometimes too, but if you make your shots, you can go on a run from anywhere on the leaderboard and win it. And you could be so far in front, you have no idea what can happen. Certainly as grips and throats get tighter, and I tweeted out during the first few holes yesterday that it seemed like the golf gods, the Masters gods, and the weather gods all got together after waking up on the wrong side of the bed and conspired. And I got a bunch of responses. Looks like a beautiful day to me, Rich. It's a beautiful day. Except you look at the flags on the sticks, and they are stiff. I mean, they're just absolutely getting blown to bits. The wind, a couple times, Matsuyama on the first few holes, he had to step away from his shot because you had a time with the gusts. It was really, there were gusts in Augusta, essentially what I'm saying. Well done. Hey, I don't just get awarded the zip-up green sweater for just showing up, Chris, okay? So
was Nance here and I missed it?
No.
Was he in the back?
Hello, friend. So I'm sitting there thinking, this is a fun watch. And I know that there wasn't much drama until the back nine. But to me, watching Hideki Matsuyama, who has a lot of expectations in his career, to see him show up and show out and perform the way he did through the first three rounds, including on 18 to wrap up his day on Saturday. He hit a shot so far behind the green on 18 that Nance said he's never seen somebody that far past the green on 18 ever at the Masters. And this was his 36th Master. And he bump and ran it and got in two from that spot to finish up a bogey-free round on Saturday. And now here he is on Sunday. And I know we're missing Tiger, and I know there were, with the exception of Xander Schauffele and Billy Madison's caddy, who we'll get to in a second, there weren't that
Happy
many.
Gilmore's Rich. Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore's caddy. Wrong guy. I understand there weren't that a lot of Americans at the top of the leaderboard, but to see Matsuyama do what he was doing. And I'll say it, in this day and age where we are seeing so much anti-Asian behavior in this country, my hometown, videos of people of Asian descent get shoved over on the streets just because they look Asian. To see Matsuyama perform in front of this American stage, I understand the international stage, certainly for his bank account, is particularly important. His national stage. To see him perform in this manner in front of this audience on this stage at this time was particularly moving to me. Particularly moving to me. Seeing his caddy bow to the golf course. Seeing him get emotional as Dustin Johnson, you have to say this, slipped the green jacket on him. You don't place it on him, you slip it on him. To see him wear that green jacket and also know what's probably going through his brain, knowing that his championship, his first major championship, what this means for his career, and I'm reading all these articles, that it could mean $250,000 for his lifetime earnings just alone. for him to be the first man from Japan to win the Masters. What a figurative flag to plant for him and his country and his family. Couldn't have been happier there. But man, did the Masters and golf gods conspire to make it a little bit of a wild ride in those par fives. Just when you thought that Matsuyama could use those par fives to his advantage, that's when Xander Schauffele started birdieing 4 birdies in a row while Matsuyama was all over the place. And by all over the place, in the same way that he was in a spot on 18 that I've never seen before, and Nance has never seen before. He was in a spot on 15 that I did not know existed. Okay, and part of the reason for this is because there are fewer patrons. For instance, I don't think on, Chris, tell me if I'm wrong, on that finishing hole on Saturday where he was so far back on 18, I think he did put it up the alleyway where players walk off to sign their cards.
Right.
So he might have placed it in between fans. There are just fewer, like you saw spots where normally it would hit a patron.
It would have hit someone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And on 15, I've never been so fortunate to be at Augusta National. I would love to one day. It would be a very long walk spoiled for me. But where he was on 15, I didn't know the water on 16 was right there. Right? I didn't know there was water behind 15.
Had no idea.
He found it.
Didn't have any clue.
I didn't even know where the hell the drop area was there.
I've never seen that before.
In my life, I've never seen a player hit it there in the Masters. And there he was with Schauffele charging.
And you're like, uh-oh.
And forget about, one of those things at some point, if you hit a bad tee ball, it's like, forget about eagle.
Yeah.
Then you hit, a bad approach shot, well, forget about birdie. He was like, forget about bogey. Yeah. He was like, that's the end of that.
Right.
Like he would have to get some sort of special save just to not get but one stroke added to his score. Holy crap. When he was there, I thought to myself, he could hit it in the
other side,
more traditional water on 15. And
he hits the wrong slope, it just keeps going, and suddenly he's looking at an 8. Like you said, I've never seen anyone hit it there. And that was kind of the first bit of drama on Sunday, that it was just kind of a ho-hum Masters Sunday. Zalatoris made a couple birdies, but you didn't think he was really going to threaten. It was just kind of, will Hideki blow it at some point?
Right.
And he was just cruising, and then you went, uh-oh.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
And now all of a sudden, it's real tight going to 16. And Schauffele, who just birdied, damn near eagled.
Yeah.
From the bunker, it's his honor on the tee, and he puts it in the drink on 16, which is like, you never see that either.
Never.
Certainly on a Sunday, you don't see it in the drink. I mean, you could see it left up high, and then, of course, if you leave it up high and the ball doesn't catch that ridge and get down to the hole, that leaves an impossible second shot that would be so difficult to leave you within par range, and then you bogey. You don't 3-jack.
No.
The par 3. You don't double square box with a 6, which is what Schauffele did, because he kind of blew the drop area shot too, and that was all she wrote there. And we're seeing the photograph of his swing, and it's just like perfect. It's just, that looks like exactly, my Xander is a righty as well. I was going to show him, hey, look at this Xander. But that's what we're talking about, with your knees bent and hitting down on the ball, and he's ready to, this is the Masters. He's got it, because if he had put it on 16 on the table, at least.
Just give him a shot.
Right.
Yeah. Because he was coming off. He had 4 birdies in a row going to 16. And you're like, here we go.
And then you can't, basically say, well, Matsuyama bogeyed 18, and that would have made it that much closer, because Matsuyama would have played 18 differently if he didn't have the cushion to give up. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.